Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back, this time, on the path to the Kansas. This is the alternate battleship line for the United States. It came in right after we started doing these Path 2 series, so I had to come back to it once they came out of early access. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the commander builds. We're running William Sims with Azurlane Scharnhorst and Paolo de Revel as our commander inspirations. We are also running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, and Reaching Out XXL with Will to Rebuild. Now, there are a few other commanders. I'm only going to go over a couple of them, and that is because they're kind of the same. There's very slight differences. But Willis Lee is your Brawler commander. And Willis Lee, I use Haruna and Franz von Hipper as our inspirations. And we run Not One for the Nuisance, Porcupine, Firefighter, Master Mechanic, and Will to Rebuild. This is my Massachusetts build, okay? So it's a secondary build. You can swap these around a little bit if you need to for running a Brawler build at a lower tier, where your secondaries aren't that great, okay? Now, other than Willis Lee, there's a couple others. There's Kong, which is an AA-centric build. So if you're wanting to go like full AA spec for a battleship in the U.S., Kong is a very good one. Andrew Cunningham, Scharnhorst as our inspirations. We're running No Fly Zone, Tear Off the Wings, Firefighter, and Master Mechanic with Will to Rebuild. And then, of course, you've got Justinian Lyons. I've never used this guy. I don't think he's particularly useful. Most of his skills revolve around having your repair party active, which is a very short amount of time to give you some pretty substantial buffs, but it's a very short amount of time, and those skills also reduce the time that the buffs are active. So it's kind of a shooting yourself in the foot, and I just don't find it particularly useful. But that's just me. The other one, obviously, is Optimus Prime. And he's, once again, a Brawler commander. I would run, again, Azurlane Scharnhorst and Andrew Cunningham, or Paolo de Revel here. And then I would run the No-Fly Zone or Provocation or Revocation Protocol, or Not One for the Nuisance, if that's what you were looking for. Then, of course, you've got Crisscross, which speeds up your turret traverse, which you don't really need too much on the American lines. The turrets turn pretty decent other than this particular ship. But Porcupine is a secondary build, obviously. And then Firefighter is something that you would definitely want to look into if you're doing a Brawler build. But again, these reduce the duration of your damage control party, and what that does is the immunity that you have for like 30 seconds once you hit that damage control, or 20 seconds, that gets cut down by 40% when you take this perk. So keep that in mind. But it does have the Master Mechanic, which gives you the extra repair parties, and it also has Will to Rebuild. So those are your other builds if you're interested into those. Now, if we look at the ship itself, we are running the AA gun mods 2. Okay, I'm not real big into the secondaries at low tier, just because they're such short range. They're not really that useful. But AA guns actually do come in quite handy. And the American AA on battleships is fantastic. So buffing that even a little bit gives you a pretty big buff, and you'll be shredding planes in no time. I mean, they already do shred the planes. But we are fully upgraded, as you can see. We are running a spotter plane here. We've got our 3 heals. We've got the community contributor flag, and we are running the Stars and Stripes permanent camo that comes from the Bureau project. Okay? I forgot. We need to go to stats. Survivability, 49,800 hit points with an 18% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery, you have 4 356mm Mark 8s, and you have 6 356mm Mark 9s. These are the USS Texas and USS Arizona guns, okay? The dual turrets, I believe, are the Texas, and the triple turrets are the Arizona. So, they're very good guns. both of them. Firing range is 16.4 kilometers. Reload time is 32.2 seconds, so a little bit on the long side. 180-degree turn time is 40 seconds. Again, a little bit on the long side, but not absurd in any sense. Plus, it's a dreadnought, so you turn really well. You can turn your ship to help get the guns there faster. HE shell maximum damage of 5,000 with a 30% chance to set fires, and then AP shell maximum damage of 11,330. Secondaries, you have 127mm Mark 27s. You have 8 of those that reach out 4 kilometers and reload in 4.5 seconds. They fire HE with a maximum damage of 1,800 and a 9% chance to set fires. Then you have the 127mm Mark 7s that you have 10 of that reach out to 4 kilometers, reload in 7 seconds, and have a maximum HE shell damage of 1,800 with a 6% chance to set fires. AA defense, like I said, pretty good for as old a ship as this is. Got to remember that. This is a pretty old ship. It's like World War I. 20mm Ehrlichen Mark 4s. You've got 8 of those doing 29 damage per second, reaching out 2.5 kilometers. Then you have 28mm Mark II Mod 2s. You have 16 of those doing 27 damage per second, reaching out to 3.7 kilometers. And then the 127mm Mark 27 dual purpose secondaries, you have 8 of those doing 58 damage per second, reaching out to 5 kilometers. Maneuverability, the maximum speed is bad at 18 knots, but the turning circle is fantastic at 610 meters. And the rudder shift, while it is a little slow, not that bad. 14 seconds. Concealment, 12.9 by sea, 10.4 by air. 2 is always guaranteed, and the 11.3 kilometer smoke firing penalty. Armor. This is what a lot of people call these American dreadnoughts, that they don't have any armor, but they really do. They have pretty good armor. The only downside really is the upper side plating and the bow and stern plating. Okay? So you've got to keep that in mind. We don't have the belt that goes all the way to the bow like a lot of the other ships do. Okay? So keep that in mind. You can be overmatched very easily in the front. And the most dangerous thing for this thing, other than going flat broadside to people, is when you're in the dreadnought shuffle and you're twitching back and forth trying to make people shoot your belt and get your guns to bear. Going through this bow side plating is going to get you citadel, and it doesn't take that big of an angle. Something like this angle, like we're looking at it right now, a shell can go right through that bow side plating and go right into the citadel. So keep that in mind. That is the weakness of American dreadnoughts. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of armor here. A lot of people look at this and go, oh my god, it has no armor. But if you strip away the thin armor here, then you strip away the torpedo protection, then you get to the thicker armor, which helps shield the citadel. Okay? Get rid of that, and get rid of the deck, and you can see the citadel. And the citadel is slightly raised. It's not very much, but it is. It is sloped on both sides. Okay, so that helps increase the likelihood that you bounce shells off of the citadel. Which, like I said, it's not that big a... unless you're going to be a complete goober, you can absolutely wreck people with American dreadnoughts. It's very, very good ships. It's got very good belt armor, and they're just good ships overall. They got great ballistics. The shells are generally really, really well done. Like, it's all good. Okay? So keep that in mind. Don't go flat broadside to everybody and just, do the dreadnought shuffle. I've said it over and over again. Agile, above average ability to change direction. Ironclad, above average armor thickness, greater resistance to all forms of armor penetration. And slow, below average maximum movement speed. Nevada, a Nevada-class battleship belonging to the first series of the U.S. Navy's standard type battleships. She was commissioned in March 1916 and operated in Western Atlantic and the Caribbean until mid-1918, when she went to the British Isles to commence her World War I service. She entered service in 1916. There were 2 of them in the series. And if you can name the other ship, which is in the game, by the way, both of the Nevada class battleships are in the game. One of them is a premium. If you can name the other ship, I'll pin you if you're the first person. So the first person to answer this correctly down in the comments below, I will pin you. Okay? So with that being said, let's take a look at it. This camo is pretty sexy. You guys know that. I love that. And it's a good looking ship. The one thing that is a little odd is the fact that you have 2 dual turrets and 2 triple turrets. And again, that is the USS Texas and USS Arizona turrets, essentially. Okay? And the game just reset my camera. Thanks, game. But as you can see, good looking ship. It's an American dreadnought. What's not to love? So with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are going to be on Ring, and we're in the Nevada. And there's quite a lot of people in this lobby that just don't understand how to play the game. And that's to be expected. We're at low tiers. This is tier 4 lobby, okay? So there's a lot of people down here that just don't understand the basics. And so we are going to pretty much steamroll everything that comes in front of us. Because a little knowledge goes a long way. And that's why I don't understand why more people don't try to learn World of Warships rather than just play it. Because you will enjoy it a lot more once you learn how to play correctly. You'll notice a lot more opportunities than you do when you're just playing it to play the game. Now, some might say that it takes some of the enjoyment away from it because it feels like you're trying to try too hard. I get that. As a casual player, I can understand, you know, where you're coming from. But if you really truly want to get to the inner depths of World of Warships and learn, like, at minimum the basics, when you should shoot HE, when you should shoot AP, how not to just sit broadside to everybody, paying attention to the map, seeing who's got crossfires on you, you know, doing all the things that you need to do in order to maintain your survival as long as possible so that you're able to affect the game on a much higher level. Now, obviously that first salvo was awful. Took a shot at a broadside Svetlana, got a single overpin. It was awful. And thanks to our reload, we're not ready to shoot at anything. Now I see this Omaha out here and I just start salivating. This guy's charging in a ship that is known for being dev-struck. It's just a floating citadel for any battleship that decides to shoot it. Whether it goes through the bow, whether it goes through the side, it doesn't matter. Omahas get dev-struck if they get shot at by battleships. That's just how it goes. And the worst part is a lot of people go flat broadside in an Omaha. And it drives me bonkers because the Omaha is a great ship and has fantastic gun layouts that basically ensure that you never have to go full broadside. You can maintain bow in and keep yourself out of trouble. But Omaha gets on the backside of the island, unfortunately. Nothing we can do about that. We've got a couple battleships pushing up on us. And this is where I'm going to showcase the difference between a good player and new players. Okay? Watch the damage that I'm able to get on these guys. Okay? Full salvo, Giulio Cesare, very tanky ship. We get a solid damage output on him, and we immediately start turning into angle to negate the amount of damage we're going to receive in return. We're watching the torpedoes on the Giulio. The Giulio is actually the more dangerous of the two because he is so tanky. But he's going to take a couple torpedoes right on the bow, and that's going to leave him in pretty decent territory for us to aim high, go into that superstructure, maybe get some bow penetrations, possibly knock out a gun, and we're able to take another good chunk. Only got 2 full penetrations off of that, but we still got a decent chunk of damage. Now, obviously, Corbet here has decided to YOLO in at this point. He's committed to pushing in on me, and we're going to showcase once again that we know our opposition, we know the ship, we know what we're capable of doing, and watch the shot placement, waiting for him to turn, and aiming for that bow side plating, and we absolutely smash him. Over 10,000 damage done. Now, obviously, we've got to be cognizant of the fact that he's going to try to ram us. Our secondaries are going off, but they're not going to be too effective against the battleship. The torpedoes go by us. We actually take one of our friendly torpedoes. He is going to get a good hit on us, but we're about to be loaded, and we're just going to go straight through that bow. And we take him down. And so very quickly we deal with both of the battleships that were here, and now we're starting to look ahead. In a battleship, you've always got to be looking for where your next crossfire or your next shot is going to be placed. Once you've dealt with the people that are next to you, you've got to be thinking ahead, because especially an American dreadnought, because you're so slow that, you know, if you're not paying attention and putting yourself in position, you're just going to be out of position more often than not. Okay, so we're paying attention to the fact we got 3 battleships left over here. 2 of them are heading in our direction. We take a shot at the Acasta, and we manage to get a good overpin on him. Not a lot of damage, but any damage on a destroyer is, you know, a bonus. It's going to help him, make him an easier kill later on, whether by us or a destroyer. Now, Montecuccoli has come out full broadside once again, and we are about to be loaded, so I'm looking pretty solid at this point. I'm like, oh, here we go. Are we going to get it? Now, we lead him quite a bit, and those shells look fantastic. Wait for it. Pow! And we get nothing. He manages to turn out just enough to only take like 1 shell, which is not perfect. Now, obviously, we've got a Peter Veliki here, and we've got another battleship right out from him. Of the 2, I'm more afraid of the Peter Veliki. Given the fact that I'm so close to the island, that means I'm going to have to overextend. And speaking of overextending and over-angling, the Nevada gives me too much cheek, and we reach out and touch him for 7,000 damage. 3 overpins, 1 full penetration, able to put a solid hit together. And this next shot's going to be pretty gratuitous. And this just showcases a new player. He's had to change course due to the torpedoes, and we are able to take full advantage of it. He's not looking at us. He's not paying attention to the fact that he's giving a flat broadside to an American dreadnought at very close range in a Russian battleship. And that is ultimately going to be his downfall. 17,000 damage, 2 citadels, able to knock him out of the fight really quickly. Nevada is sitting there mostly, he's slightly angled to us, but honestly at these angles I will still shred him very quickly. So keep that in mind. Like, he is way over angled. Like, this is not angling. So we take the shot, very good dispersion, and we get a very good result. 3 full penetrations, 1 overpin. We fire the front guns, a little worse dispersion, but we still get a solid hit. 1 overpin, 1 full penetration, and we've taken him down to about 5,000 hit points. Now, if you guys didn't know, each little square box on a health bar is 5,000 hit points. So that's something that a lot of people don't know. And so keep that in mind. When we get somebody down a full square, you've taken 5,000 hit points off of them, or if they're down to 1 square left, they've got right around 5,000 hit points left. So you can kind of get an idea of just how much you need. Now, Montecuccoli, once again, out here just playing with RNG, and he's going kind of slow, but we expected him to speed up. Unfortunately, he didn't quite speed up the way we wanted him to, and he gets very fortunate once again to not just be removed from the planet. Congo, on the other hand, out here just sailing around broadside, begging for mercy, and unfortunately for him, we're not going to give it to him. The Acasta becomes the primary threat at the moment, and so we've got to take a shot at him. We don't want to leave a destroyer out here to potentially torp us. We take a good shot, not the best dispersion, but we managed to hit on all sides of his ship, just completely painted a circle around his ship. We had shells fall out in front, behind, on both sides of his ship. The game just said no. And that can only mean one thing. The next shot should be juicy, because RNG giveth and RNG taketh away. RNG just took away, and now it's looking to give us, and we've got a broadside Congo at mid-range, just absolutely begging for it. Wait for it. Pow! 2 Citadels, took all of his health, and the ARP Haruna manages to finish him off. Still got the Acasta out here, but at any moment we should be able to hopefully spot him, and we will be able to remove him. We've already got 105,000 damage, 2 kills, 4 Citadels. We've got a Confederate, we've got a High Cal. We've done all of the things that we needed to do to ensure that our team could push our flank and get in behind these guys. And even in a super slow dreadnought like the Nevada and like the American dreadnoughts, we take the front guns, looks good. We hit a little too far to the back. Are we going to yoink it? No, we missed with the rear guns, and they are able to finish him off instead. Narrowly missing him, but a miss is still a miss. 107,000 total damage. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.